let's get started. I am so excited for this training tonight just because I know how much value it's going to bring you guys. But I first want you to understand the magnitude of what you have your hands on just tonight. When we were at the mastermind in just a few weeks ago, in order to have Eric speak to a group of people, his going rate is $150,000. You guys, that's what he gets paid to do what he's doing for this team tonight. So I need you to understand how incredibly special it is that he's taking time to do this training for you. And like we said last night, it's because he believes in the mission we have here. He wants to pour into this team. He really is a place in his life that he wants to see you win bigger than you've ever won. And so make sure you have your pad of paper. Make sure you have your pen. Take notes. Listen carefully. Try not to get distracted by all the things going on around us, right? Like I get it. I got two grandkids downstairs, so we had to shut Minnie's office door and lock her in here for the night. So, but just make sure that you're paying attention. And then before I bring him on, I want to ask you guys a question. Aaron, if you want to put this up on the screen real quick, how many of you are in Eric's Go Pro Insider? Let me know. Put a 2 in the chat if you are in Eric's Go Pro Insider, and let me know how much you are loving that thing. You guys, it is seriously 30 cents a day. It's $9 a month, and you get a wild amount of value from it. And here's what's really cool. Aaron, being the incredible man he is, created a website specifically for this team to go and look at what you're going to get from that and be able to get on there and join that. It's so simple, you guys. You're just going to go to goproinsider.com. It's $9 a month. And here's what's really cool. Every single day, you get a lesson from Eric. Like it's literally like having Eric on speed dial on your phone. And you just seen all of the people that have already signed up for it that are getting a crazy amount of value. So let me know, friends, really quick in the chat section before we introduce Eric to come on and start training you guys. How many of you, let me know one thing that you've learned from GoPro Insider that you're just that like you've already made your money back, the $9 that you spent. What was one thing that was just like a aha moment for you? Did it help you build confidence? Did it help you know what to say? Like, just let me know something in this chat section that it helped you grow your business. I think that it is by far the best value you're going to get anywhere in the network marketing space. $9 a month to have Eric send a video to your phone every single day. Like, where else can you get that? Absolutely nowhere. So if you're not already in GoPro Insider, make sure you do that. If you want to see more about that, Aaron he can put the link back in the chat section here again, so you can go look at it on our website if you want to go look there, or you can just go straight to goproinsider.com. Here's the deal. This is just so crazy. 30 cents a day to get Eric Worre. I can't even believe that he's doing it that cheap. Like even Aaron Parker said when he seen it, he thought for sure that it was going to be $100 or something a month, like to get Eric every single day. When he heard it was $9, he was like, are you kidding me right now? That is crazy, crazy cheap. So with that being said, I'm super excited for you guys to get to hear from Eric tonight. We learned about this particular challenge at his mastermind, and then he got on a Zoom with the leaders and just said, add this, take away this, do this. And he really helped us make this what it is. And of course, who better than to have Eric Worre kick off the training series, right? If you don't know this about him, he was in the field. He was in the field. He made it to the top of his company. He's built big, 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 big business. And then he's seen a need for the coaching to help people take this industry serious and go pro in their network marketing career. I'm so grateful that he did that, because it was at his event in 2016 when I really didn't have $300 to go to an event that I made the decision to buy that ticket and get my butt in a seat at his event. and it changed everything for me. It made me see the bigger picture. It made me understand that I didn't just have my hands on some little side gig where I could make a couple of bucks. I had my hands on a multi-million dollar distribution business if I took it that serious. And that's exactly what I did. And so I hope that you take your business as serious that, and I'm really excited that you get to hear from the number one trainer in all of network marketing, Mr. Eric Worre.
Maybe. There we go. Can you hear me now? We good? Hi, everybody. After that build up, there's no way I'm going to be able to live up to it. When I'm done talking, you're going, that's not worth all the stuff that Tina was talking about. That guy's not that big a deal. Hopefully, I'm a normal Joe and a friend of the network marketer and a friend of you trying to grow your business and become more successful. I did see earlier there's some people from Canada. If you're from Canada, put a 1 in the chat. If you're from Canada, I just want to see real quick. Did you watch the hockey game on Saturday? I just want to know. Did you watch the U.S.-Canada hockey game? It was like maybe the best period of hockey in the history of hockey in that first period. Unbelievable. I'll see you in the finals. It's going to be great this Thursday. If you're a hockey fan, it's going to be a big deal. Anyway, Marina and I became hockey fans when we moved to Vegas. Can you believe that? Crazy. How did that happen? Anyway, you didn't come here to talk about hockey. You came here to talk about recruiting, building a business. Let me tell you something. First of all, I'm really proud of this organization. And I think you as a company, you should be excited because when you have an impact product like you have, it makes things an awful lot easier. Yeah, how many of you absolutely 100% believe that people should know about the products that you offer? Put a 2 in the chat if you believe that. And how many people would like to build, and help share that with everybody in the world, right? I mean, obviously, if you like the products, you feel like they meet a need, and you want to go out and help people, understand this. There's 4 things that we do. 4 things that you do in your business. 4. 1, you sell. You sell the product using word of mouth advertising. You tell people, hey, I have something. It's worked for others. It's worked for me. It could work for you. You want to try it? Want to check it out? Right? So you sell. That's one thing that we do. But the second thing that we do, because if you want to reach the world and you really believe in your product, you can't reach the world by yourself. There's only so much you can sell by yourself. So you get leverage, and the only way to get wealthy in life is from leverage. If you don't have leverage, you can't get wealthy. Just can't do it. There's not enough scale to be able to do it. So leverage starts in your business when you sell that product one time. If they buy again and again and again and again, you continue to get compensated every time that person buys. So that's one form of leverage, but you can't reach the world by yourself. So the second thing that you're allowed to do is you get to build a team of as many other people that want to work for themselves, to be solopreneurs, to work from home, and offer an amazing product to people who need it. And there's no limit to how many people you can involve. A lot of organizations, they'll limit it. You can bring in 3, you can bring in 5, that's all you can bring, but there's no limit here. So the second thing you do is you recruit, you build a team of other people who are out there selling. Now you don't get rewarded for the recruiting, but the recruiting will give you the ability to reach more people. Okay, you get rewarded when the sale happens from your team. So think about it this way. If you can put in 10 hours a week into your business, okay, the typical person, average part-time, busy life, working from home, 10 good solid hours a week. If you get 10 people on your team who each do the same thing, now it's 110 hours a week that you get benefit from, even though you're only working 10. If you can get 100 people at 10 hours, what is that? 1,000? 1,010 hours? And you're only working 10. That's a pretty good deal. Now you get a smaller percentage of other people's efforts, but still, right? What if you got 1,000 people? And are there 1,000 people looking for a way to be able to earn from home with a product and a company that's legit? For sure. So now it's 10,000 hours a week that you can benefit from, and you're only working your 10? Now we're talking about leverage. Yeah. So that's what got me excited. I'll be honest, like the sales part intimidated me. And some of you are just amazing at selling. The recruiting part intimidated me too. Honestly, it's like I'm an introverted person by nature. I felt like I was bothering people, like I was imposing on people, like I was inconveniencing people. And the only thing that got me through that is understanding I believed in my product. I believed in the opportunity. I wanted to help people. And I knew that I couldn't do things. I couldn't get to where I wanted to go by myself. So I got a lesson early on, and I'll get back to the 4 things that we do. Selling and recruiting are the first 2. The lesson early on was if I was going to do something and I wanted to get out and talk and build a business, the lesson was all business was conversation. That's where everything starts. All business is conversation. And I was so overcomplicating it. Oh my gosh, I had to be ready to be ready. I had to have a perfect presentation. I had to have all this stuff. I was overthinking it. I was stuck in my head. And finally I just said, a mentor told me, just relax, Eric. All business is conversation. You need to just start conversations. And in the conversation, there'll be an opportunity for you to educate the customer. I said, what do you mean by educate? He said, our job really isn't to sell or to recruit. That's the result. That's not our job. Our job is to educate. And I was like, oh my gosh, that takes a lot of pressure off. If my only job is to educate people to the point that they understand what I have, they can't really reject an education. If I'm trying to get them, they can reject that. But if I'm just trying to educate them, here's what I have. It might be for you and it might not. It might be a fit for you and it might not. And if this isn't a fit, keep looking, but at least understand what I have. Okay? So for me, sometimes these little things, I'm not trying to recruit, I'm trying to educate. And here's what I will tell you about a person who has any entrepreneurial spirit in them. Once they become educated, you don't have to sell somebody with entrepreneurial spirit. They will sell themselves. They will connect the dots. They will go, wait a minute, let me see how this works. Oh, wait a minute, let me see. Oh, I can think about this person. And what if I did this and I could do this over here and I could do that over there? And their entrepreneurial minds will connect to what you present. You don't have to be amazing. You don't have to be a persuader. You don't have to be a closer. You don't have to be this hardcore, used car salesperson type pressure person. You just have to educate. And it doesn't matter how you do it. If you get the facts in front of a person with entrepreneurial spirit, they'll connect the dots. You just need to not screw it up. You don't have to be awesome. And I'm so grateful that I didn't have to be awesome when I started, because I was a mess. I was 23 years old, had no success in my life, and no credibility, none, zero. But you know what I found out? My mentors were right. All business is conversation. And if I just start enough conversations with people and I just be a normal person and I look for an opportunity to educate them about what I have in any form, okay? in any form. I can ask them for advice. If I say, hey, would you give me some advice? Would you look at this? Does that educate them if they look at it? It does, doesn't it? If I ask for their opinion, does that educate them if they look at it to give me their opinion? Of course. So I didn't start that way. When I started, here's the weird thing. I didn't have this beautiful, amazing, spectacular little device. You know why this is so amazing? And this is my story of walking to school both ways, uphill in the snow, and you guys all have it easy. Back then, the training was become friends with the telephone, dial for dollars. And you had to get on the phone and do a verbal invitation. Oh, think about that. I just want you to think about it for a second. And because it's so amazing what you can do today. The greatest thing in the world. It's about 7-8 years ago, everybody decided they were done talking on the phone. They're done, like 7-8 years ago. They said, nope. Everybody, remember the ringtones? There used to be ringtones. It was a huge business. There's no ringtones anymore because everybody has their phone on silent. The entire world. And my kids trained me that they were done talking on the phone. I'd call them. They'd see me calling. They'd let it go to voicemail, and then they'd text me, hey, I'm real busy right now. What do you need? I'm like, I need you to pick up the phone. That's what I need. Right? So the greatest thing is you can have a conversation with people and at scale, lots and lots of people, without having a perfect answer, without having to be quick on your feet, without having to have go in your mind and be able to solve problems and overcome objection to all that stuff. You can just literally message somebody and say, hi. And it doesn't have to be a big thing. How you doing? What's new? How's the family? How's the new year kicking off for you? I see it's cold in Minnesota. Yeah, I had to send screenshots to my kids up in Minnesota today because it's 67 here in Vegas and sunny and gorgeous. I'm like, you got to come visit because it was minus 10 up there, Fahrenheit. But is that starting a conversation with them? Yes. So you can, and then if somebody like, oh, what's new with you? Oh, they respond back. And then you respond back. Be a normal person. Right? Here's what's not normal. Hey, I have this business. Ba, 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 ba. That's not normal. Unless you're like best buddies. Then it can be normal. Hey, I found this really cool thing. We need to talk. Okay, fine. But this thing made it so easy for the average person to start and continue conversations and to look for opportunities to educate that person when an opening happened on the product and the business that you have. And if you get stuck, here's the great thing about a text message or a DM. If you get stuck, you don't have to answer that minute. You can ask somebody, how should I answer this one? This one, I'm stumped. You can answer in 10 minutes. You don't have to answer in 5 seconds like you do on the phone. If you have to do that on the phone, it's just like, and you freeze up, which I did a million times. It's not fun to be able to do that. So you can have conversations in quantity, at scale, and that will give you, I promise you, and no kidding, within these 5 days, you will have an opportunity to educate these people on what you have. You can use a direct approach for some people that might look up to you and would love to work with you. They respect you. You can use a direct approach. Hey, when I thought of somebody who could absolutely crush this, I thought about you. Let me introduce you to it, right? And tomorrow, you're going to learn how to make that pivot, how to, in the conversation, when an opening happens, you can either create the opening or they will create the opening. They'll talk to you about that tomorrow. If the opening's not there, tomorrow or the next day, you can say, hey, since we talked on Monday, I've been thinking about you and I have this thing. It might be a fit. It might not. But I thought you should at least know what it is. Because, man, it's growing like crazy. Or you could say, have you heard the news? Really love that phrase. Have you heard the news? Question mark. People say, like, what news? Oh, you can't even believe what this company is doing and how many people they're helping and the health and benefits that are going on. It's crazy. It's unbelievable what's happening. The stories that are coming out. It's crazy. Well, tell me more. All right, I will. I'm happy to. Let me show you what I have. It starts with this product. It continues with this company. So, or if you know somebody in a long, I'm just giving you ideas here because here's what I'm going to end with. I'm going to end with a challenge, right? Let me give you this challenge. I'll just plant this in your brain and I'm going to get back to my 4 things. The challenge is in the next 24 hours, and I would encourage you to do it tonight before you go to bed. 100 conversations. Start 100 conversations with anybody who has the ability to join your business. Okay? Just 100. It's not that big a deal. Literally, I do not care if you just say hello. Hello. Hi. What's up? How you doing? What's new? How's the weather? Freezing here. What's the weather like where you're at? What's going on? How's your new year? How's the kids? Okay? 100 conversations. All business conversation. We're just going to get them started. Here, what is the goal? What if you don't know 100 people? Who's that, Molly? You do too, Molly. Look into your phone right now and tell me how many people you have as contacts in your phone. Look it up. Real, no kidding. I want you to look it up and tell me how many you have in your phone. And then, Molly, I want you to look up how many people do you know on social? How many people are connected to you on social? Okay? 150, 341, 1,265. You have 10 in your phone? 10 people in your phone. That's impossible. It's impossible. So, I'll give you a tip. If you, like BB has 23, right? Whatever it is, 37. Okay? Go onto social, friend up every single person you know. Tracy has 15. What is going on? You need to have your kids train you how to do this. So anyway, go on social, connect with all your friends, and then look at who they have as friends. And you will see very quickly that you know more people than you think. Because you're going to know a lot of the people that they know. Who are you connected with? Okay? So the challenge is, look, if you don't have 100, start with whatever you have. Start with the big 3. Who's connected? Who are you connected to on email? Who are you connected to on social? Who are you connected to in your phone? I have this, gosh, I don't even know. Tina, you or Aaron have the memory jogger document that we have. I have this document that will help you think of people. If you haven't done it already, Tina's nodding her head that you have it somewhere.
Aaron, pop that on the website for the Power of One.
Yeah, because you could just take this document and it's just going to ask you questions. Like, do you know any dentists? Do you know any accountants? Do you know any dog groomers? Do you know any people who love dogs? Any people who love cats? Do you know anybody who's a redhead? Do you know anybody who's a blonde? Do you know anybody who's bald? Do you know anybody who has a beard? Anybody has a nose ring? Anybody who paints their fingernails? Anybody who loves to travel? It's going to ask you all kinds of questions like that. And it's just going to help you oh, I guess I know more people than I thought. So here's the thing. For those that are I'm a little bit intimidated by this because I'm kind of a homebody. I'm not really connected with that many people. That was me when I started. And I just want you to breathe and just relax. Just understand that just because a lot of other people know a ton and you don't know that much, most of your success will come from people that you're going to know after you've joined this business, not the people that you knew prior to joining this business. That's true, okay? Like 5% will be from the people that you knew maybe prior. 95% plus will be from people you will learn to network. You will learn to get out of your own way. You'll learn to grow on your own. You'll learn how to bring value to people. So, start is what I'm saying. I've done it all. I've done everything you can do to try and find people and build my connections. If I was a homebody, what brought me to network marketing? Desperation. I was broke. I was sitting at home very comfortable and broke out of my mind. I needed dollars like I needed oxygen. I literally couldn't breathe because I getting overdraft check or statements in the mail every day, and I was having creditors say, you said the check was in the mail, and I was behind on life. I needed something had to change. So that got me beyond my fear of getting out in the world and networking. So I just did, okay? So listen, first thing that we do, back to the 4 things, I'll circle back. We sell using word of mouth advertising. Second thing we do, we recruit an ever expanding team of other people selling. Third thing we do is we duplicate. We teach those people to teach those people to teach those people. We duplicate the process. Because if we can sell and if we can recruit, can we teach people to sell and recruit? Sure. And they can do the same and they can do the same. And the 4th thing that we do is we lead the teams that we build. We improve the productivity of the teams that we have based upon our leadership. Take 2 teams with the same amount of people in it. One has a great leader, one has a terrible leader. The one with the great leaders tends to be more productive, right? So those are really only the 4 things that we do. But I can't remember. I was a terrible student in school. What's the law that says once things get into motion, they tend to stay in motion? I don't know. I don't even know what it is, but I think it's true, right? One of the universal laws. Once things get into motion, they tend to stay in motion. Yeah, Newton's first law. Thank you. There's some teachers out there. On behalf of all the terrible students in the world, I'm sorry to all of you teachers that had to deal with all of the people like me that were not great. It's ironic that I'm a teacher now, very ironic. But here's what this week is about: getting you in motion, getting you a piece of success, just a taste, just to let you know that it's possible. And some of you have yet to recruit a person, and you're wondering if you even can, or if it's even part of your future. I get that. I understand. I thought I was that person too. I promise you, you can. I promise you, you can actually build a business here. One thing, for some of you that are introverted people like myself, you're conservative or you're homebodies or whatever, you would be shocked the percentage of high earners inside of network marketing that are just like you. You'd be shocked because they don't show that introverted side of themselves. They've learned to be situational extroverts. That's what I am now. I'm a situational extrovert. I'm going to be extroverted with you, and then when I'm done, I'm going to stare at the wall. You know, I'm going to have to recharge my batteries. So I just learned that it didn't pay really well to be introverted. And if I really cared about people, I would get outside of my own comfort and I would help them understand what I had. That was it. So if you talk about conversations, 1, all business is conversation. 2, Your objective ultimately is education. It's not about getting people. It's not about tricking people. It's not about fancy techniques. It's reaching out to people like a real human being, connecting with them, having a real conversation with them, right? And waiting for the moment to happen where you can educate them about what you have. And that's all you have to do. And if somebody has any entrepreneurial spirit, they'll connect their own dots. You don't have to, they'll recruit themselves. If you are a normal person in this process, okay? One other networking tip when you're having the conversations, and this is just a mindset that I'd like you to think about. Do everything you can to bring value to the conversation and to bring value to the other person. Whether or not they join your business, whether or not they become a customer. This is a life skill. If they're having a hard day, give them some encouragement. If they're struggling as a single parent, give them a little love and just let them know that you're proud of them. If they are in a job that doesn't suit them, let them know that you believe that they have a bigger future and they can do amazing things. This isn't the end for them. If they have a business and you could refer some people to their business, do it. Refer people to their business. If they run a restaurant, encourage people to go to their restaurant. You go yourself. Go to their restaurant. If they have a small business and they provide some service, post it up on your social and let people know that, hey, my friend has this business that provides this service. Be supportive if they're entrepreneurial in some other endeavor. Be supportive if they're selling real estate. Let people know, hey, if you're looking to buy or sell a house, here's my friend who's selling real estate. You should check them out. Without an agenda, right? It's not a trick. Real networking is not a trick. Real networking is just doing it because it's a good thing to do. And what you'll find is life on its own becomes reciprocal. You can't outgive the universe. You cannot do it. You can't outgive your neighbors. You can't outgive your friends. It'll come back to you so many ways. If they end up becoming a partner with you to be able to help you grow a business, wonderful. If they don't, okay. A no's not a no forever. A no might be a not now. But I want you, when you're going into this process, to do me a few favors, right? One, commit that you're going to do 100, at least 100, if you have at least 100. If you don't, then do as many as you have. All I want you to do is say hello. Okay? Say what you would say to them on any normal day. Okay? So if you're willing to do either 100 or as many as you have in the next 24 hours, put a 100 in the chat. Now, I see some of you are husband and wife, partners, whatever, like Pam and John. That means both of you, not just one. Come on, John. That means both of you. Second, I want you to just get out of your head and turn your brain off. Your brain that wants to negotiate and wants to rationalize and wants to say, I'm not ready, and wants to say, wait, maybe it's a little bit too late to send a text message, and wants to go through all of this stuff in your head. Just get out of your head and just do it. Just send the message and be done. Okay? Say hello. That's all I want you to do. Don't negotiate with your own future. Don't negotiate with your own success. Just trust this process. You've got everybody here inside of this group willing to help you and willing to encourage you over these 5 days to start something. Some of you have started inside of this business with big intentions, and it hasn't turned out the way you hoped it was going to turn out. Maybe you got scared, or maybe you got busy, or something happened and you're kind of underperforming your own expectations, yeah, I would give yourself a break and just say, this is a time to be able to kind of go. If you feel like you have unfinished business, let's just go. Let's just go. Just start. Just trust the process. I don't want you to do anything else but just start these 100 conversations and then keep them going. It's like playing pickleball or tennis or something. You send a message out, it's like hitting the ball over the net. Is everybody going to hit one back? No, that's okay. Start so many conversations you don't even pay attention to how many people have not responded. Okay? Some are going to hit it back. And hey, it's nice to hear from you too. Oh, the weather's terrible here. Oh, it's really bad over here too. How are the kids? Oh, the kids are great. How's work? Work's fantastic. What are you doing for fun? Da 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 da. Whatever you would normally say, right? And don't worry about the pivot. Don't worry about transitioning the conversation. Don't worry about having fancy words. Don't worry about presenting your product or your opportunity right now. You want to get to scale. You want to get enough quantity that you're getting one is done. And here's what I will tell you. At the risk of guaranteeing you something, if you start 100 conversations today, it's so hard for you not to recruit a person in the next 5 days. I mean, it's so hard. You have to actively be mean to all 100 people in order to be able to pull off not recruiting somebody. Really. So, and you're like, if I start 100 conversations, you're telling me I can have some progress this week? Yep. Especially with the support. Okay? So, start the conversations, keep them going, and just keep them normal, right? Normal, going, fine. If they want to ask you, if they start asking you, then you can reach out to somebody on your team and say, what do I do? They're asking me about my business. They're asking me about my product. They notice I've lost some weight or whatever. Your upline will teach you how to do that, but just don't stop until you do as many as you can, 100 or as many as you have, okay? Now, I want you to understand something. If you can get it going and you can do it once, you can do it 10 times. If you do it 10 times, you can do it 100 times. And if you do it 100 times, you can teach somebody else how to do it. This is the beginnings of building a real network. When I built in the field, I had between 500,000 and 600,000 people on my team. You believe that? 63 countries. Crazy. I recruited a couple hundred people total, and those couple hundred people turned into 600,000? You kidding me? How? I learned to sell. I learned to recruit by starting these conversations and walking through this process. I learned to duplicate because if I could do it, I could teach it. And if I could teach them to teach it, I could teach them to teach the next group to teach it. And then I learned how to lead. And all leadership is getting people to do a little bit more than they were going to do. So some of you are going to get one this week. Some of you are going to get some customers and you're not quite ready to get that one distributor. That's fine. You'll make progress anyway. Some of you are going to get a lot over the course of this week. And even more of you are going to get, you're probably going to get half the results during these 5 days, and the other half of the results are going to happen in the last few days of February. So just set your expectations. So let me ask you a couple questions, then I'll wrap and pass it back to Tina. If you've already got at least one, okay, put how many you've recruited so far as a result of this challenge. Put it in the chat. What's the number? Twos, ones, fours? Well, 0, we're on day 1. I'm just talking about, I get that. We just started. You haven't even started your conversations yet, most of you. But a bunch of people already have some, yeah? Here's what I'd like you guys to do. Ask this question every day. See how many Zeros turn to ones tomorrow. The next day, the next day, the next day. This group, I'll bet you, this group has, the people who are on this Zoom right now, have at least 1,000 by the end of this next weekend as a group, and at least 2,000 by the end of the month. New distributors. This group. So averages, I'll bet, around 2.5 to 3. 2.5 to 3 per person. Just want you to think about what that happens in your business. Now, if you have anybody on your team already, make sure they're part of this challenge. Make sure that they're doing this. But know this, all business conversation, you need to have the quantity, be normal. Your goal is to educate to the point that they understand what you have. You don't have to be fancy. You just have to be reasonably competent, leading people to the information. They will sell themselves if they have any entrepreneurial spirit at all. Okay? Give value in every interaction. Be a good neighbor. Be a good friend in every interaction, whether they join your business or not. Don't be one of those people that you're my friend while you're a prospect. If you stop being a prospect, then I'm not going to talk to you anymore. That's not very nice, right? Be a friend anyway. Be a referrer of their business anyway. Those of you that are in small business, you know how rare it is to have somebody actually encourage your business or actually support your business or actually promote your business for you. It's so rare. If you be that person, I promise you it comes back. Okay? So listen, you are in amazing hands. You have really, really strong leadership inside of this group. If you just don't negotiate and just step in and go after it, it's going to be just an absolute fun time. It should be light, fun. You're going to have to face some fears. You're going to have to get out of your own insecurities. You're going to have to, get out of your shell like I had to do. But take this moment to really crush it. Give it everything you got for 5 days. Give it, you can do anything for 5 days. Why not do this? Okay. And set yourself up for your convention that's happening in March. It's what, 14th and 15th? Yeah. Here's what I want to challenge you to do. Every person that joins in this challenge, make sure they get a ticket the day they join. And just say, hey, we're all going. We're all going to Utah. Let's go. Come with us. It's going to be amazing. Okay? Every single person that joins. You do that, you get them into that room, your year's going to be a different level. Okay? So anyway, it's fun chatting with all of you. And for my Canadian friends, we'll see you Thursday night. Thursday night, it's going to be on U.S. versus Canada in Boston. It's going to be an absolute great time. Anyway, love you all. Hope you're well. Tina, I'll give it back to you. Mwah.
Thank you, Eric. How fun is that? How many of you got a tremendous amount of value? Put a 10 in the chat. Make sure if you're not already following Eric that you're following him, listening to his podcast. If you're not signed up for GoPro Insider, get signed up for GoPro Insider. If you aren't registered for convention, get registered for convention. The man just told you. It should be a non-negotiable that you figure out how to get there. And I can assure you of this. How many of you are on here right now and getting to your first event when you got into network marketing was an absolute stretch for you beyond what you could even imagine, but you made it happen and it was worth it. I want you to put that's me in the chat section below. I decided early on from hearing from a lady, her name was Melody, that events were part of the reason that she was making 90 grand a month. I was like, looks like I'm going to events and I don't even know what events are, right? So just make sure that you get to that event. And a couple of other things I want to make sure that you guys are aware of is Aaron created a new short video that you can send prospects so you don't have to wait for an opportunity presentation to use the tool. Trust me when I tell you, tools are everything in your business. Use that new tool. He has that on the website for you. You can just take that and send that to people. Wednesday night, we're going to be doing an opportunity presentation live. We want to fill that up. Trust me when I tell you, you want to get as many bodies on that Zoom as you possibly can. We're going to be giving away an entire daily health system on that opportunity presentation. So get your people on there. It is going to be an absolute blast. Nicolette, Amber Collins, and myself are going to be hosting that. We have a special set of slides that Nicolette made just for that. And Amber Collins is going to be sharing her story about how she got started here in October. And I don't want to give too many of the details away because her story is so compelling about what Trinot has done for her and her family. So make sure that you fill up that opportunity presentation. If you have not filled out your declaration, do that. Okay. Erin will put the link in the chat for you so that you can go fill out that declaration. Get inside the Telegram channel where we are answering questions and helping you inside of that chat all day. There's all of us leaders in there helping you inside of that. And then I seen a few of you, you're like, I got my one. I got my one. What do I do now? If you've done it once, I promise you, you can do it again. All we do is the same thing over and over and over again. So go do it again. Go do it again with someone else because really it's you helping someone else realize the opportunity and now they get a chance to go and do it. And here's what's really cool. We know it only takes 3 people recruited to unlock the entire compensation plan. And when you get your third one, now you've become the power of team. So if you've done it once, go do it again. Don't stop there, guys. Don't take your foot off the pedal. I promise you, it is so worth it. How many of you would agree that have been doing this for any amount of time that it is absolutely worth it to get uncomfortable to start earning money to get comfortable in your life? I know for me, hands down, smartest decision I ever made. And you guys have seen it. I've shown you guys the first videos I've done, the first post I've done. They were awkward. They were bad, guys. We all start bad. Here's what I can assure you. If you'll stay consistent, if you'll do the things that you're going to get taught this week by Eric, by Sarah, by Alicia, by the Drapers, Rhonda, the Parkers, Nicolette, myself, if I missed anybody, I'm so sorry. If you were going to learn so much this week that is going to help propel you in your business to the places that you want to be in your business, the only thing required of you is to show up and take action. How many of you are going to show up and take action this week like you've never done before? Even if it's uncomfortable action, even if it's like, oh, I'd rather chew my own arm off action, right? Like, I get it. How many of you that are on here, it was hard for you to start when you started? Like Aaron, Kathy, Chris, Heidi, like when you first started, was this easy for you? Sarah, was this easy for you when you first started? I can already tell you the answer is going to be no, it wasn't easy for any of us. But here is what I want you to remember. What's harder? Where you are now? Or maybe just getting a little uncomfortable having some conversations so that you can completely change your life with the opportunity you have your hands on here at Trinot. Also, don't forget if you're coming to the convention, we are going to be everybody, Jaden above, is going to be on stage. Champion Circle, we're going to be celebrating all of the new people in Champion Circle with their jerseys. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about that. That's one of my favorite things that we do. And we are going to have so much fun. There's going to be an awards gala where we're all dressed up, and you're going to get to learn from the very best minds inside of this company, plus our keynote speaker. So get signed up for that. Erin, did I leave anything off that we wanted to make sure we told them while they were on?
I think we covered it.
All right. So here is what I want you guys to do. Okay. Make sure if you haven't already, get a picture of the Zoom. Okay. And go share it on your profiles, in your stories, guys. Do you know how rare it is? I hope you know how rare it is that you get Eric Worre to train you for a challenge like this. Oh, I know the thing I forgot to tell you. If you didn't know this, everybody that gets their one by February the 28th, Eric's agreed to do another special training just for you folks. What? Stop it right now. How many of you want another special session with Mr. Eric Worre himself? Go get your one. Go make it happen so that you get the invite to that Zoom. It is going to be exclusively for the people who get their one. Okay. Tomorrow, you're going to have Rise and Thrive with me. I'm going to be on Rise and Thrive. Then you're going to get your Business Blitz with Miss Rhonda Allison, who is going to blow your mind with how to tell a story that helps you recruit better. And then tomorrow night, you are going to be hearing from Alicia Limbo and Sarah Hollingsworth on how to pivot all of these conversations that Eric told you to start. So this is going to build upon one training to the next. So Eric told you to go start 100 conversations. So that's going to be your task. Okay. Go start those conversations. Don't overthink this. If you've got 10 friends, start 10 conversations. You got 15 friends, start 15 conversations. Whatever your number is, start those conversations. But I want to challenge you to push a little further, to do a little more than you normally would. I'm telling you, it always feels better when you do a little bit more than was expected of you. You'll be proud of you. You'll be proud of you. How many of you are like me and you have a list? And nothing feels better than when you cross everything off of your list. Like you're like, yes, I feel so accomplished, right? That is how you're going to feel when you do these 100 conversations. And then tomorrow night, Alicia and Sarah are going to pour into you and they're going to tell you what to do next, how to pivot that conversation, how to pivot a conversation where it isn't weird or slimy or spammy or salesy or all the things that you think that it has to be in order to pivot it. You're going to pivot the conversations with them tomorrow night. And I promise you, if you will just stay consistent doing the things that you're learning, you're going to recruit your one. You're going to recruit more than one, but you're definitely going to recruit your one. So, with that being said, thank you guys for spending your night with us. I will see you guys in the morning on Rise and Thrive. I hope you guys have a good rest of the night.